Hi, and welcome to this quick video demonstrating functions. What I have in front of me is the sales bar chart program that we did from chapter 5 that does loops. So I have 5 stores. For each store I ask the sales. Then I have a for loop that goes through store 1, a for loop that goes through store 2, a for loop that goes through store 3, one that goes through store 4, one that goes through store, that would be store 5. So if I run this real quick, 1200, 1300, 1400, 1500, 1600. So we get our sales bar chart. So I got 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 stars. Okay, so chapter 5 is actually a good lead into a concept for chapter 6, and then we'll even expand on it more in chapter 7. But when you're working on functions, functions are kind of if I explain to you like the lyrics of a song, if I give you the words of a song, and then the first time for the chorus, they tell you the words of the chorus. And then they give you another verse of the song. Instead of repeating the words of the chorus, they just put like the words chorus in brackets telling you to refer back to the chorus. Functions are kind of like that. So I can take any place I see that I write the same kind of code over and over again, but maybe tweak it just a little bit. That might be a good place for a function. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this information down right here. I'm going to cut it. And I'm going to come down here outside of my main. This one's going to be a void function because I'm not returning any values back. So I'm going to say void display stars. And it's going to take an integer. In other words, I need to know what the cells are. Okay. I'm going to paste this. And instead of the store, I'm going to paste cells here. So I also need to, if I have a function, so you notice my function is outside of my main. If I collapse this, you see that it's outside of my main. Main itself is a function that can call other functions. So if I put a function down below main, I cannot use it unless the compiler knows about it before it's called. So I have two choices. I can either put this whole function definition at the top of my program before main, which I don't like to do because it kind of gunks it up, or I can put a prototype up there. And the easiest way to put a prototype is just to copy the header, come up here before main, paste it. And the thing I'm going to change here is I'm going to take off the variable name because it doesn't care about the parameter name and stick a semicolon at the end. So now it knows about that. So when my compiler reads from top to bottom, it's going to say, oh, there's a function named display stars. And before I use it, I'm going to go down here and find it. So now what I want to show you is that I can, instead of having all this, I could do display stars, and I'm going to pass to it store 1. Same way here. I'm going to replace that with display stars. I'll pass store 2. Same way here. I can get rid of all this and call display stars. And I'm going to pass store 3. And I'm going to get rid of all this here. Call display stars again, pass store 4. And for the last one, we'll get rid of this, replace it with display stars, and pass store 5. So just to show you that this works, I'm going to go ahead and run it. $1,200, $1,300, $1,400, $1,500, $1,600, and voila, I had the exact same results, but a lot less code. Because every place that I was writing that for loop and the indel and all that, I just put that all down here in a function, and I just call the function. So let me explain this as far as the parts of the function. The first word is the return type. Since I'm not sending a value back, I'm just putting stuff out on the screen. There's no return type, so it's going to be void. The next part is the function name. In my case, I call it display stars. Inside the parentheses is what's called a parameter list. In other words, if it takes any values and works with them. So in our case, each time I call it, what I'm sending to the function is an integer representing the sales amount. So inside my function, it's saying for int counter equals 0, counter less than whatever I pass to it for sales, divided by 100, counter plus plus, and it's cououting the asterisk. And then when that loop is done, it's putting an indel to go to the next line. So when I call the function, this is a function call. I use just the words, the function name, and I pass to it store 1. Here I'm calling it and passing store 2, store 3, store 4, store 5. So you can see that's a lot less code. As far as functions, I may have a function that returns a data. Maybe it returns a number. So if that's the case over here, instead of void, I would say, what kind of number does it return? Does it return an integer or a double? I might have a function that returns a string. I might have a function that returns a Boolean. So basically, this first word is what data type does it return, if any. If none, it's void. I might even have a function with no parameters here. Maybe I've got one that just does something and it doesn't accept any values. Or I might have one that has like 10 parameters. So I hope this helps, and I hope you can see the value here, because I saved myself a lot of code by writing this function, and I got rid of a lot of code up here. Now, as far as the entering the store 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, in Chapter 7, I'm going to show you a way to make even that part easier. So I hope this helps. Thanks.